Guys, you won't believe what just went down. Nigel Farage just went off on Keir Starmer, and it's absolutely brutal. He's ripping into Starmer over his complete silence on the migrant crisis and exposing Labour's huge failures. Is Starmer really out of touch with the struggles of everyday Brits? Is this the final blow for Labour? Let's break it all down. Farage didn't hold back. He's accusing Starmer of sitting idly by while Britain's border crisis spirals out of control. He's saying Labour's promises on immigration are nothing but smoke and mirrors, and honestly, it's hard to disagree. Just imagine, you're in a small town like Clacton, watching politicians promise the world, but nothing ever changes. The frustration? Real. And Farage, he's tapping into that anger. Then you've got Labour's Yvette Cooper, who's promising to deport tens of thousands of illegal migrants by the end of the year. Sounds like a fix, right? Wrong. Farage is calling it out as just another fantasy. He's saying Cooper's plan is like waving a magic wand, hoping the problem will just vanish. But according to Farage, it's all a ruse, just another empty promise to make it look like Labour has things under control. But here's where things get really interesting. Farage isn't just stopping at immigration. He's saying this is bigger than that. He's calling out Labour for betraying the very people who voted for Brexit. Remember that promise of taking back control? Well, Farage says that Starmer and Labour have turned that dream into a nightmare. Farage believes Labour's been misleading the British public ever since the Brexit vote. People wanted sovereignty, they wanted real change, but what have they gotten? More chaos, more broken promises. And Farage is not letting Starmer off the hook. He's saying Labour's business as usual approach is a slap in the face to everyone who believed in Brexit. Now, let's talk about the housing crisis. Another mess Farage is throwing in Labour's face. He's painting a pretty bleak picture, guys. Sure, they're building more houses, but what good is it if there's no infrastructure, no extra schools, no new GP surgeries, no proper roads? It's a disaster, and people in places like Clacton are feeling the pinch. Farage is saying Labour's housing policies are just pushing these communities to the brink. Farage doesn't mince words here. He's saying Labour is failing the very people they claim to be helping. He believes that instead of solving the problem, they're making life even harder for small towns and communities already stretched to the limit. His solution? Farage wants 1,000 new officers patrolling Britain's borders, taking back control from illegal immigration. But there's one problem: the European Court of Human Rights. Farage says as long as the ECHR has a say, Britain's hands are tied. And if that doesn't get you riled up, remember 2022. When that flight to Rwanda was stopped at the last minute, that's exactly what Farage is warning us about. Farage is saying that for any real change to happen, Britain has to cut ties with the ECHR and finally take back control of its own borders. He's not just talking about immigration anymore, this is about Britain's future. For Farage, this isn't just political posturing. He's saying that if Labour stays in power, Britain's problems will only get worse. And as long as foreign courts have a say in our affairs, we'll never have full control of our borders. So what do you think? Is Farage right about Starmer and Labour's failures? Is this the moment we finally demand real change? Or is this just another political battle with no end in sight? Let me know in the comments below. And if you think Britain deserves better leadership, hit that like button and subscribe for more hard-hitting political updates. Don't forget to ring that bell so you never miss a beat.